All right, what's up, guys? It's time to go right into the patch notes discussion. We have a minor patch today, 0.27.1. This is going to be the patch that is going to be leading us into the solo open qualifiers for the ERCL. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to be adjusting Adela, especially since she's going to be enabled in ranked pretty soon. So let's get right into it. Okay. Hello friendos, Aesop here with the midweek patch. It's a minor patch, so there aren't a lot of big changes. For smaller balance changes and the like, I'm going to try and give you guys some context on as little blurbs for each character. Blurbs, if you will. Thank you, Aesop. This update will go live sometime tonight for about 3 hours. So, character changes. Nadine. Crossbow. Damage dealt in squad mode is going up actually from 83% up to 87%. So this is a change that I'm a big fan of. Nadine in team modes. Now I haven't been playing a ton of team modes lately because solo is the only ranked mode that's currently available in NA, but like, man, Nadine in team modes to me has been very underwhelming lately because she has been down at 83% damage dealt, and this is a character who is single target, right? Like all of her damage is mostly single target outside of some fat Qs, but when you're on Crossbow, you're mostly just an auto attacker. So the fact that she was down at 83% damage was like, man, she just felt underwhelming. So going up from 83% up to 87%, I'm a big fan of this change. Lead Island Nunchuck damage in duo is going down from 103% to just 100% because it was doing more than 100% before. Damage dealt in squads also going down from 103% to 100%. So basically, this is them saying, we think Nunchuck is in a good spot. We don't think Nunchuck needs to be dealing even more damage than the like standard stock amount. So that's honestly, I'm fine with that too. I think Nunchuck's been pretty good lately. Luke changes. Honestly, round numbers are just nicer to work with. His base defense, wait. Okay, his base defense is going up from 28 to 30. Huh. Odd choice, but okay. I think Luke has been pretty dominant lately, but maybe there's something we don't know about. Maybe item changes or something that is going to affect him disproportionately. I don't know, but in any case, yeah, a little bit of a defense buff for Luke. Razi is a pretty even and nice indicators across all tiers, but starts to get weaker in higher tiers. This change will promote more flashiness and be more rewarding for players that master her. Her W, the movement speed, is going up even higher from 100% up to 110%, and gun vault, the E knockback range is going from 3.5 meters up to 4.5. Razi buffs, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. There they are. So, I mean, if you look at the stats, I kind of agree. The stats haven't been showing Razi being insane. And I don't think the Korean community thinks Razi is that exceptional right now. But the NA community is definitely on the side of Razi is really strong at the moment. And I'm going to have to agree. I think Razi is really good. I think that she has a lot of tools in her kit. She can make fights incredibly hard for people to fight her with. Like I don't know, dude, or fight against her with. She just has so much mobility, and this is going to make her even harder to interact with, as she can knock you back from further away. She doesn't have to put herself in as much danger. Also, she's going to be moving even faster with that W. This concerns me, but if the numbers are backing it up, if the Korean server says they don't think it's an issue, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's NA that's wrong here. Ruben says, on the bright side, since Razi hits 7 MS when she presses W, she hits max movement speed anyways. Yeah, that's kind of true. But yeah, anyway, Magnus. Magnus has been a little weak following other changes across the game. These will help him bring back up to speed, which leaves him wondering if people can really stop that body speed. So he's getting a little bit more base attack speed, going from 0.12 up to 0.14. His Q, the speed decrease, the slow on it, is going up at all ranks by some scaling amount. So it's going from 22% up to 30% at rank 1, and then at max rank it's going from 50% up to 54%. So it's more of a slow on early ranks, and still more slow at max ranks, but a little bit less of a more slow, if that makes sense. So it sort of tapers off. The max rank is still closer to the one it was before, but those early ranks are going to feel a lot better. Bike from Hell, his R, the cooldown reduction when you hit something is going from 30 seconds up to 35 seconds, so a lot more cooldown refunded, which it's kind of nice, because that was a big nerf that they gave him when they reduced his bike cooldown when you didn't hit somebody. Shukai. Following his passive change last patch, Shukai's late game was a little too unforgiving. We're curving his power a bit so he can't get away easily with spamming abilities late and toning down the damage. Thank God, I was so sick of Shukai. Lost in the sauce is cute. The HP cost is going back up. Basically, they lowered all the HP costs across the board for his skills. Like most of them, I think actually all of them got lowered. So this is sort of pushing them back up a bit so he can't just spam them and not get punished at all in the late game. Walk it off, his E additionally is getting a less max HP scaling, and the damage to impaired or to enemies with impaired movement is going down from 6% down to 4%. Sicela, her W is getting a shorter cooldown at early ranks, but a slightly longer cooldown at later ranks. So the cooldown is going from, it was previously 21 to 13, and now it's going to be 19.5 to 13.5. This is actually kind of good for Sicela players because you generally just sit on 1 point on the W. You don't really scale this up too much because every other skill in your kit is kind of just more valuable to be maxing because you get a lot of damage out of it. But that means that you're going to be stronger in the early game. Now you're only really going to see a difference like when you're at level 20. So this is actually just a straight buff to Sicela. It's not a huge buff, but it is a straight buff to Sicela. You should keep that in mind. That's actually pretty big. The Sicela complainers are not going to like this one. Sylvia, similar to how her motorcycle using... Wait, what? Similar to how her motorcycle using cohort became a little too weak following changes, Sylvia needs a buff to help her get back into shape. Ooh, a lot of changes. Pistol, damage dealt in duo modes is increasing from 90% up to 92%. The recovery going up as well from 85 to 90. Damage dealt in squad mode going up from 86 to 90. That's actually pretty significant. Recovery in squad mode also going up from 85% up to 90%. She's healing more, healing herself more. I don't know if it affected her healing on teammates, but it definitely affected the healing on herself. Base defense going up by 4. Finish line. This is her W when she's in human mode, I think. The cooldown is being decreased at all ranks by a flat 2 seconds. Shift gears, her R. The base movement speed is being decreased. Wait, okay, hold on. So the base movement speed increase is being decreased. So you're getting less movement speed when you're fully revved up at early ranks, but it's the same at the max rank. However, the initial bike movement speed reduction is being reduced from 50 at rank 1 down to 40 at rank 1, and 25 at rank 2 down to 20 at rank 2. Rank 3, it was 100, or sorry, it was 0%, so it's staying 0%. Yes, this is a new update. We're talking about the new patch notes. Are you reading that backwards? No, I don't think so. It's saying that the earlier ranks you're getting... Wait. Oh, no, I am reading that wrong. Oh, okay, so you're just getting more speed. Okay, scratch what I said. This thing is correct. I talked about that correctly, but you're getting more speed at early ranks, with the max rank being untouched. So it's going from 0.15 up to 0.25 at rank 1, and it's going from 0.3 up to 0.35 at rank 2. So a little bit more speed on the early ranks. Also, the wind-up speed reduction is being reduced as well, so just overall speed buffs to the bike. Warm-up time is also being reduced from 1.8 seconds to 1.5 seconds, so you're going to be a lot faster, a lot sooner. So that's pretty huge. Yeah, that's actually enormous. So we'll see if this makes Sylvia a strong contender. People who made Sylvia were really complaining about the Sylvia changes in the last patch. They actually allowed some really cool things, like some really cool combos got opened up because of those changes. So I'm seeing if this, or I'm curious to see if this is going to sort of propel her into a really, really strong place. In any case, very interesting changes. Adela. Whoa, Jesus. That is a lot of changes to Adela. Okay, you probably all saw this coming. You guys mastered the Maven Tactician quicker than I thought you would. Often her opponents couldn't respond to her burst quickly enough, so we're adjusting that along with her movement. The first week is up. The A-coin price is reduced. Rapier Changes. So this is her damage dealt in duos and squads. She's down to 95% damage in duo and 92% damage in squad. Her normal SP regen is being reduced from 2.5 down to 2.3. Her SP regen per level also being cut just a little bit. Control the center, her passive. 0.1 attack speed to attack power ratio 0.4 is being changed to 0.2, 0.4, 0.6. So at rank 1 of your passive, you're getting less attack power per attack speed. And at rank 3 of your passive, you're actually getting even more attack power per rank of your passive. So what that means, early game, a little bit weaker on the passive. Late game, a little bit stronger on the passive. Promotion, her Q, pawn damage, is being decreased at all ranks, but it really ramps up on the final ranks. So rank 1, you're not going to notice much of a difference. It's going from 30 flat down to 20 flat, but at rank 5, it's going from 190 down to 140. That is a huge decrease in her Q damage. That's massive. You're losing 50 damage on a skill that only did about 200 damage. And I'm not saying that wasn't a lot of damage to begin with. Like 200 was a lot, but like, man, losing 50, that's about a third, or sorry, not a third, that's about a quarter of the damage for the most part. It's pretty huge. Also, the attack power ratio is being buffed to compensate, going from 40% up to 50%. That ratio change is not going to fully account for the flat damage reduction. That is a big nerf to the damage. Okay, queen damage. This is the, like when you put 3 pawns down, you'd put down a 4th thing. When you press Q again, it would generally be the queen. The queen is getting, again, similarly, way less damage, going from 50 down to 30 at rank 1, and going from 210 down to 150 at rank 5. But however, the ratio is going up even further, going from 50% up to 70%. So that's pretty significant. Shifting the damage away from the flat and more into the percent, like the attack power percents, the ratio. The cooldown is also being adjusted. Rank 1, 3 to 4 seconds. Now at rank 5 is going from 1.8 to 2 seconds. Remember, you cannot reduce this with CDR, so this is a pretty significant cooldown nerf. It's going to affect how fast she can combo in general. Night Fork, her W. The distance is being reduced from 5 meters down to 4.5. The cooldown also is actually going to be reduced by 1 second at all ranks, activating the damage of another piece. Ooh, it's getting a 50% damage reduction. So you can't just like QW and like super burst people, right? It's going to be a little bit less damage. A lot, actually, I gotta say a lot less damage. It's still going to be a lot of damage, but I mean, it's going to be a lot less damage from before. Because that was where a lot of her big burst came from. It was just the QW like main combo. Her E, castling. The reactivation range is being decreased from 12 meters down to 11 meters. The cooldown is also being increased a lot at early ranks, going from 19 up to 24 at rank 1. But at rank 5, it's about the same, going from 11 seconds up to 12. So just plus 1 second on that cooldown. Activating the damage of another piece is when you slid the E through another piece, it would create a little AoE. Activating the damage of another piece is getting a 50% damage reduction, similar to how the W got 50% damage reduction. So again, big nerfs to sort of stacking pieces in a tiny little area and having all your pieces slam together and do a bunch of damage. This was her main like burst methods, and that can't really be happening. It was way too much before, so this kind of needed to happen. This means that she still has good sustain damage. She just can't like fat burst you in a tiny little area quite the way she could before, and that was really problematic. So honestly, I'm totally fine with these changes. Checkmate. Her R. The damage is being decreased at rank 1 from 150 down to 100. Rank 2 is the same, but rank 3 is going up by 50 damage from 250 up to 300. The attack power ratio, however, is also being reduced from 60% down to 50%. The cooldown is also being increased at rank 1 by, hold on, it's being reduced at rank 1 from, wait, hold on, am I reading this right? The cooldown is being increased from 80 up to 85 at rank 1. It's the same at rank 2, and it's being decreased at rank 3 from 70 down to 65. Okay, Adriana. Adriana's tertiary buffs brought her, actually, no, hold on, we're gonna talk about Adriana in just a second. Hold on, let's talk about Adela still. These changes are great. I don't know about you guys. I actually think these are great changes. I feel like these addressed all of the issues with Adela. It was like the issues where basically someone could be trapped in between a bunch of pieces and they just get one fat activation. Like, sure, you want to reward your players for having good combos. You want to reward your players for pulling off the way the character's supposed to be played in a good way. However, it was rewarding them way too much. So I think I'm totally fine with these changes. I don't think it's going to change her outside of like the big bursty combos. I think her kiting should still be about the same. Her chase should still be about the same. Yeah, you're seeing a little bit less mobility, but it's about the same. I think I'm okay with this. Okay, Adriana changes. Adriana's tertiary buffs brought her solo win rate up. She doesn't need the help anymore. Throw. The damage dealt in solo mode is being decreased from 103% down to 100%. I will level with you guys. I had no idea that Adriana was at 103% in solo. I did not know that. I feel like I know every single tiny number detail about this game. I did not know that, which is kind of blowing my mind. That's probably something that we saw a long time ago, and it just got buried in the back of our minds because people weren't really playing Adriana a whole lot. And let me tell you guys, right now, Adriana, she is S tier. She is so actually insane at the moment. And she's not like a free win for whoever picks her up. But if you can play her well, she is oppressive as hell, and she is so powerful. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see a slight nerf going from 103% down to 100% for solo mode throw. Isol, I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Isol's early game is still a bit strong for a guy that does best when ratting in the late game. His base attack power is going down from 30 to 27, and his attack power per level is being increased from 2.6 up to 2.9. So that is going to, if my really shoddy math is correct, you're going to be at the exact same attack power at level 10, and at level 20, you'll be 3 attack power higher. So it's more of a scaling change. Is this a buff or a nerf? I would still consider it a nerf because in my opinion, the early game is the most important part of the game. But you know what? I'm fine with this. I'm totally okay with this. Emma, toning down her late game just a bit, but bringing up her mid game strength in compensation, which is where she lacks the most these days. Dove Dealer her Q. Let's see, what's being changed? The only change is an increase of 5% on the ratio. Bunnymore for E, the passive HP recovery for SP spent ratio is being increased at early ranks, and no other changes from 12% up to 16% at rank 1. Hot damn. However, change R, the bunny movement speed reduction is being increased. This is just, wait. Is this toning down her late game at all? Guys, okay, chat, save me. Where is the late game nerf? Am I reading this wrong? Bunny movement speed reduction from 0.6 down to 0.8. It's not that, right? What? Huh. Toning up. It's different from the KR patch notes. Okay, before we jump the gun too much, there may be some mistakes in this patch note. Maybe there's something missing. So, yo, don't read too much into this. Apparently the KR patch notes are different or something. I don't know. Don't read too much into this. This is a wash. We'll go next. Yuki. Yuki still isn't where we'd like him to be. Similar to how we changed Razi, this should allow for Yuki players to bring a touch of extra flashiness into his play to help bring him up in strength where he often struggles in the upper tiers of play. Two-handed sword. Damage dealt in squad mode is being decreased from 90% down to 88%. I'm fine with that personally. Dual swords, damage dealt in duo mode is being decreased from 101 down to 100. Same with squad mode. Defense per level is being increased from 2 to 2.3 from head to toe. His Q. Damage dealt is going up at later ranks from 120 up to 140, but it's the same at rank 1. What else? Dashing Gentleman. His E. The dash duration. What? Wait, what? The dash duration is being decreased. The skill Q delay is being decreased. So basically the dash happens faster. You still cover the same distance, but you just go faster? Huh. Interesting. The skill Q delay is a little bit less too, so it should just come out more, quicker. Coup de grace, the R cooldown is being reduced at early ranks from 140 down to 120. Let's just say Yuki buff across the board. Interesting. He edited it if you refresh it. Okay, let's do that. Will the Emma change be there? Page not found. Guys. Patch notes. Not, it looks the same to me. I'm not seeing it. Okay, well. Oh, there's another. Hang on. Let's try this one. Nope. Am I crazy? Oh, just as toning upper late game. Oh, okay. So, okay. The skills are just being buffed overall. It's just that the description was wrong. Okay, I'm understanding it now, guys. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm losing it. So it's an Emma buff. Ooh, I don't know if Emma needs buffs right now, guys. Do you think Emma needs buffs? What do you guys think? I personally don't think Emma needs buffs. I'm just gonna say it. I don't really think Emma needs buffs, but you know what? They've got the numbers. Maybe they know something we don't. That's all I'm gonna say. Melee. All right, moving on. Zahir. Oh, melee complainers can chill. You get out a bunch of Yuki buffs. The Yuki players seem to complain louder than anyone else. That's all I'm gonna say. Ask guys, I believe the most important thing in this patch. Okay, well, we'll check that out in a second. Like we're gonna get there. Take our time. Zahir. Little love to late game Zahir. But what? Okay, whatever. Godiva, chocolate W. Damage is being decreased at rank 1 from 25 down to 20. But it scales up to 125, changing to 140 at rank 5. So it's a nerf to just 1 point W, which I believe is just a nerf to Zahir in general, because I believe that your W is the last thing you level, or at least it's pretty low. So yeah, that's I'm kind of down with that. Sure, interesting change. I'm not complaining. Jackie changes. Jackie has been jumping around to escape for a while. This should encourage some more fun offensive jumps. Leaping strike her E, the slow percent is going from 15 up to 20%. It's a pretty significant slow buff. Hot damn. Interesting. Yeah. Kathy struggles a bit in higher tiers. This should help her stick to her enemies a little bit more. The grounded duration is being increased from 1 second up to 2 seconds. Wow, that is a huge buff. What? Huh. That's a long time to be grounded. 2 seconds. That's a really, really long time to be grounded. That doesn't mean that the slow is longer, though. I think it's just the grounded. By the way, for those who don't know, grounded is essentially you're not allowed to use movement skills while you're grounded. That's pretty significant. I don't think it's really going to change that much, but it's a big change. It means you can't just like dash away from her in a lot of situations. Kiara, a little bit more base SP regen. Heart, guitar changes, dealing less damage in duo mode and less damage in squad mode, going from 97% down to 95% for both. Hyunwoo, Mr. Hyunwoo, is that really his name? Showed to be a touch too strong recently, especially early. We're going to try and keep his late game strengths the same. Tonfa changes. Less damage in duo, less damage in squad. Ooh, a lot less damage in squad, going from 97% down to 93%. Ooh. You heard I was malding? I'm not malding. Do I seem like I'm malding? Bluff. His W. Extra defense is being decreased at all ranks by 3. A flat 3. Cooldown changes. His W is going to be increased cooldown at early ranks, but the same at rank 5. Hedgen changes. Following some deviations in Hedgen's performance across all tiers, we're trying to level it out. We're giving her some more strength to her late game, but slightly toning down her team mode prowess. Shuriken in duo. Wait, oh, sorry. Damage taken in duo when using Shuriken is being increased from 93% up to 97%. So she's not like at almost 90% damage taken in duo mode, which is like insanely low. And her damage dealt in duo mode with bow is being decreased from 87% down to 84%. Her base HP regen is being increased from 0.6 to 0.8. Her Charm of the Nomad, her E, the cooldown is being decreased at all ranks by 1, and the reactivation damage is going to get its attack power ratio buffed by 10%. Interesting changes. Interesting changes. I think I'm okay with all of these though. Honestly, I kind of am. I don't think Hedgen really needs buffs at the moment, but if these are going to be the buffs that she gets, I'm kind of okay with it. They're not too significant. They're not too game breaking. They make her feel a little bit better. I'm fine with it. Personally, I'm fine with it. Magnum Boa getting less vision range by run weapon changes now. Magnum Boa getting less vision range from 3.5 down to 2.5. This was the lifesteal pistol, for those who don't know. The golden one. Guitar changes. Stairway to Heaven. 5 more attack power, 1 less vision range, 2% less cooldown reduction. So shifting the power in Stairway to Heaven a little bit. Purple Haze, the other amp guitar, is getting 4 less attack power. Dagger changes. Cloak and Dagger. This is the dagger skill. Is getting 5 seconds more on the cooldown for rank 1, but rank 2 is staying the same. So rank 1's going from 40 up to 45. I say this a lot, but like I'm honestly totally okay with this change. I don't think Cloak and Dagger should be like I think Cloak and Dagger is way better than people give it credit for. I think it's one of the best weapon skills in the entire game. It's an insane escape tool on characters that shouldn't normally have that good of an escape tool. Like it's really, really good. It's a big reason why Shukai is so safe as a dagger character in solo right now. It's a big reason why Kathy is so safe as a dagger character in solo right now. I really think that Cloak and Dagger is exceptionally powerful in solo mode, and I'm not surprised to see it get nerfed a little bit. Axe changes. Scythe, a little bit less attack power because people have been spamming like Scythe rush builds and it's been really obnoxious. So I'm fine with that. Santa Muerte, a little bit less max HP as well, going from 410 down to 380. Rapier changes. Mistleton, the SP regen is being decreased from 200% down to 160%, so you can't just build this and completely ignore your SP regen after that point. Bat, full swing. The cooldown is being decreased from 30 seconds to 25. A nice buff for Bat users. This is mainly going to affect Luke though, because Magnus isn't really using Bat that much right now. So, it's a Luke buff. Keep that in mind. Crossbow. What do we got here? Attack speed per mastery level is being increased, 2.2 up to 2.4. Sharanga, this is the golden force core crossbow, is gaining 1.5 vision range. Huh. Okay. So it's not attack range, but it's vision range. Vision range is a very powerful stat. You'd be surprised at how much you're probably undervaluing vision range as a stat. It's really, really, really good. So this is great. That being said, vision range tends to be better in the early game than the late game, but it's still useful at all points in the game. So hey, this is a nice little buff for Sharanga that you probably didn't see coming. Nunchuck changes. A little bit less skill amp per mastery level. Thank God, because honestly, dude, amp Nunchuck has been driving me insane lately. It's so obnoxious. I really hate amp Nunchuck. It drives me fucking crazy. So I'm okay that they're nerfing it because it was way too high at 3.5 down to 3.2. Sniper rifle, the D. Sniper skill, damage, attack power ratio is being decreased. No, increased. It's the same at rank 1, but it's being increased at rank 2, going from 280% up to 300. The cooldown is also being decreased at all ranks by 5 seconds. Sniper projectile speed is being increased from 24 meters per second up to 30, and the skill amplification increase per mastery level is being increased from 2.0 to 2.2. Polaris. No movement speed penalty anymore, by the way. They've been nerfing Polaris every patch for the past like 20 patches. They've been like shaving off like 2 attack, 3 attack, 5 attack. Finally, they buffed it for the first time in forever or I can't say increasing the movement speed, just getting rid of the movement speed penalty altogether, which I'm personally okay with because, yeah. It does make griefing with Polaris a lot easier though, because it no longer has that movement speed penalty, so be aware of that. Whip changes. Thunder Whip. Wait, they're actually buffing Thunder Whip? No way. So this thing sucks, by the way. This is the this is the whip that nobody built because it sucked. The blue whip that has like 20% amp and 30 attack power, like pathetic stats. And it was the reason why really Lennox only had one build path, was because she only really had one weapon that was viable. So Thunder Whip getting a little bit of a buff from 20% up to 24% skill amp. I don't think this is going to elevate the weapon to the point where people are going to actually play it, but it's something. Yo, Nodded, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the 2 months. Throw changes. Smoke Bomb. Oh no, I was just using so much Incendiary earlier. Smoke Bomb is being decreased from 90 attack power down to 85, and Incendiary also hitting a slight nerf, going from 70 attack power down to 66. This breaks my heart. I think this needed to happen because I felt like both of these weapons were kind of overstated, but this is gonna hurt my climbing because I've been using Incendiary Bomb. So anyway, this is obviously targeted towards the fact that, what's her name? Not Cicella. Adriana has been doing really well with Smoke Bomb and Incendiary Bomb lately. Like really, really, really well. So this is mainly to target that. Wait, stop, Incendiary says, shh, Jenny, stop, shh, don't tell people. Anyway, bow, Fail Not. This is the legendary bow, the one that has a little bit of lifesteal on it. It's getting less attack speed, going from 20% down to 15%. I've honestly been seeing Fail Not do really well lately, so I'm not surprised to see this nerf. Armor, Head Changes, Close Helm. This is the one that builds into both Banneret and Burgeonet. The movement speed is being decreased from 0.1 to 0.08. A very tiny nerf, you probably won't notice it. Same with Burgeonet, but also Burgeonet is getting 2 less defense as well. But keep in mind, Banneret is keeping the same 0.1 movement speed. That is not being nerfed for Banneret. Rocker's Jacket, 4 more defense. Not a huge buff, but it's a buff nonetheless. Arm Changes, Creed of the Night is getting a less movement speed penalty. Leg Changes, Maverick Runners is getting less attack speed, going from 15% down to 10%. And the out of combat movement speed is also getting nerfed from 0.5 down to 0.45. I am noticing a trend in this patch notes. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I'm sure you are. The first person to say it gets a pat on the back, a virtual pat on the back. Anybody? You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted wrong on my fingers. There it is. Riven said it. Yes. Congratulations. Here's your pat on the back. It is all Adriana nerfs. The build that like just hit rank 1 lately was this. I mean, he's been playing Incendiary. He's been playing what's it called? Smoke Bomb as well. But the main Smoke Bomb build has been Smoke Bomb plus Maverick Runners. And both of those items just got nerfed. So I am not surprised that we're seeing this because it's been very oppressive on Adriana lately. It's really, really, really strong. So yeah, kind of explains that. Thoughts on Rocker Jacket? I love the item. It's pretty good. I think this buff's going to help it a lot. I think it's a little bit lacking because they nerfed it a bunch over time, but yeah, this might put it back in a good spot. Accessory Changes. Fan. Less amp on the white fan. Less amp on the green fan as well. We're seeing Gilded Quill Fan going from 12 down to 10 skill amp. Uchiwa is getting a less SP regen and a little bit more lifesteal. Ah, I see. So less regen, but a little bit more lifesteal to compensate. It's not going to help the casters who are building Uchiwa, but it's going to help everybody else who's been building Uchiwa, which isn't actually that many people, but you know what? It's something. Lunar Embrace. This is the new accessory. SP regen going from 200% down to 160. Basically, so you can't just like build it and have absolutely no mana issues from that point on. Area Changes. Archery range has 7 rusty swords now, and it's been losing 1 snare to compensate. The most useless item in the game, we have less snares, thank God. Rusty swords though, it's an interesting buff. The idea behind buffing Rusty Sword is they just added, what did they add? They added something that like built out of Rusty Sword, right? It was the new accessory, like the balloon accessory, and they also made double guillotines built out of Rusty Swords. So Rusty Swords have been a little bit more contested lately, so this is why they're buffing just a little bit more. Also, Chapel is getting less Rusty Swords, also to gain 1 Holy Grail. So it's also sort of just shifting that Rusty Sword over to archery range. Kind of what that's all about. 1 more Holy Grail is really nice. Oh shit, dude. I'm so sick of there being just 1 zone that has Holy Grail, so it's pretty nice. Oh no, the balloon's not out of a sword. No, you're right. It was just a double guillotine change then. You're right. Getting my wires crossed. Wild Animal Changes. Wait, what? Respawn time. Oh! Okay, so pistol users rejoice. Dogs spawn earlier. Holy shit, thank you. Dogs spawn only 1 minute in the game instead of 2 minutes into the game, so you can actually kill a dog early and get your leather rather than having to rely on chickens before. Like, previously you basically had to RNG leather off of a chicken or wait until 2 minutes has passed, and that sucked. So yeah, good. I'm glad that they changed that. That being said, just make the dog spawn at the start of the game. I don't know, man. Maybe they don't want people who are just new to the game, starting the game, finding a dog, attacking it, and dying. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Initial level of dogs is also being decreased from level 3 down to level 2, so they're easier to kill too. This is huge for pistol characters. Holy shit. I'm so thankful. Boar changes. Boars are spawning a little bit later, so you won't have Chris dying to a boar on his first public game. They're spawning, instead of at 1 minute into the game, they're spawning 2 minutes into the game, so that's pretty good. Bug fixes and improvements. You can now loot, search, and interact with your surroundings without any issue. By the way, shout out Chris. No shade. Love you, buddy. Play the game again. You can now loot, search, and interact with your surroundings without any issues. Hopefully that's the like walking up to a box and it doesn't open bug that we've had in the last patch. I'm assuming it's getting fixed. When facing high latency, we're adjusting the frequency and of server client location error mitigation. Yeah, what he said. When ping is below 50 ms, the mitigation will not occur. Above 50 ms, it may occur when standing at the end of a bush or at the edge of a restricted area. This may resolve the issues that many of you may have faced in the past week, especially those of you who play on higher latency. The fact that they call anything above 50 ms higher latency makes me sad, because I've only ever played the game at above 50 ms. So yeah, I kind of wish I could play the game on low ping. One of these days. We're all gonna make it to Korea, guys, right? One of these days. Notifications for matchmaking should now work without a hitch. No more dodge penalties, probably. You can now search Tachyon Brace and Lunar Embrace in the option search, and we cleaned up the Sniper D so it doesn't get jammed anymore when using. Stop putting peanut butter in your guns. It's weird for bikes to stand upright, especially when their owners are gone. We did some tuning on Sylvia's bikes, that no longer happens. Okay, guys, that's it. Patch notes are done. What are your thoughts? Good, bad, ugly? What do you think? Michigan moment. What do you guys think? Good patch? Good patch? Bad patch? I personally think this patch is okay. There's very few things I disagree with. Dude, what is up with this shuffle algorithm? There's very few things in this patch I like super disagree with. I think the changes to Shukai are great. I think the changes to... I'm a little biased. I like that. Anyway, I think the changes to Adela are fantastic. I think they really nailed the core issues of the character. Excuse me. And hit all the problematic points. So I'm actually a huge fan of that. Adriana Changes, big fan. She's been driving me absolutely insane lately. Character is way too strong. The Emma stuff a little bit weird. Don't know if I feel, strongly in one way or the other way about that, but whatever. Shouldn't be that bad. Zahir Change, I'm kind of a fan of. Kathy Change, I think it's a good patch overall. What do you guys think? Let me know. But yeah, that's going to be it for the patch notes discussion.